cons in regards with intermittent fasting. So I'm going to be talking about the pros. So number one, pro one is that it's less thinking. You know, you have a window period of usually 6-8 hours, whatever it is too. You kind of make that, you're very flexible with that. And then you're really only thinking about 2 meals that you're going to be consuming in the day. Second is, you know, like if you're someone who's always on the go, you know, like doesn't really have time to prep food or, you know, go out and get food or whatever it is too, or even actually has a lot of anxiety when it, or stresses over wanting to create foods and different ideas and everything like that too. I know that doing intermittent fasting, you really only have 2 meals, 2 big meals, and then maybe snacks in between, which makes it a lot much more less stressful, less anxiety, less thinking. Final one is that if you're someone who, you know, usually wakes up and then you're not hungry, I know they always say, hey, breakfast is the most important meal of the day because it breaks your fast, breakfast, you know. Doing intermittent fasting, you know, when you eat whenever you're hungry or whenever your window period is a little bit more beneficial for you. So it's as if you're not forcing food. To be talking about the cons of intermittent fasting. Number one, it is not the magical tool in order to lose weight. You know, a lot of people, they think that intermittent fasting is like the magic pill. Intermittent fasting is just a strategy. Because if you think about it, 500 calories, whether you eat it in 6 meals or whether you're eating in 2 meals, is still 500 calories down at the end of the day. And then the second is protein synthesis. So protein synthesis is what happens in our body, what occurs in our body when we are gaining muscle. Maintaining muscle also helps out with muscle recovery too. So this occurs by ingesting protein, right? So then if you're only limiting your body to 2 servings of protein throughout the day, 2 big servings, then you're only betting that your body's only going to be maintaining, producing, recovery only at 2 shots. It's been scientifically proven, and it's been the best and I would say the most efficient way of gaining muscle, maintaining muscle, and or with fat loss, with having multiple feedings of protein throughout the day. For this one is that when you're in a fasted state, a lot of people always believe they have the miscommunication, misinterpretation that if I'm in a fasted state, I'm going to work out, that my body's only going to be burning fat and nothing else. Wish it was that easy, but the thing too is your body will pick and choose when and where it's going to be burning and using that energy for fuel. So it's been proven actually that doing it in a fasted state, whether it be exercise, cardio, whatever it is too, you run a higher risk of burning into actual gained muscle, hard-earned muscle, than actual fat. When they did studies, when they compared, let's say, cardio to a fed state cardio compared to a fasted state cardio for the same duration, same cardio, all that junk and everything like that too, clients that actually did the fed state actually lost more weight and maintained more muscle over long term compared to someone that did it in a fasted state. The fasted state, yes, you're gonna have an initial drop in body fat and weight loss initially, but it tapers off almost instantly right away. All right, guys, and the fourth one and the fourth con for this one is that, you know, there's been studies that have been shown where they showed people who did it exercise in a fasted state as well as in a fed state, and then they tested out their performance, whether it be with weightlifting as well with cardio. And then after the study showed, they showed that people who actually were in a fed state actually performed better. They actually had more progressive overload. They actually improved over the same duration as a person who did it in a fasted state. So again, to fasted state, they're doing it on an empty stomach, they just drank water, compared to people who did it in a fed state. Fifth and final one, I've had a lot of clients that have done intermittent fasting again, and I think it's just a misinterpretation. Again, it's a good strategy, but it's not everything. People that have done intermittent fasting, and let's say that they get hungry even after their window period is done. I noticed, I would say about 95% of clients that have done this, if they eat something afterwards, they feel like a failure. They feel like a complete failure, that they weren't able to stay within their window period. And then afterwards, what ends up happening, they just end up snowballing. They end up just eating more and more and more and more, where they were just maybe, let's say, over 50 calories or 100 calories. Now they went to maybe 2,000 calories. And it's because they feel like a failure, that they didn't stick to the word. And, you know, like that's what happens when they did the intermittent fasting and they go off of their window period. Those are the pros and cons for intermittent fasting. Again, both strategies, whether you do it or you don't, will help you out in order to lose weight, gain muscle, whatever it is too. The thing is, you have to just see whatever fits your lifestyle. Both can work, but both have pros and both have cons.